want to jump right into the final part of the project, all right, which is the OOP. This is short for object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming. So at the very lowest level, or at the basic level of JavaScript, everything is an object. So when we talk about object-oriented programming, it's just a way of structuring our code in a cleaner way, and it gives us more access to more functionalities that might not easily be accessible out of the box on a normal day. All right. Now, JavaScript offers us two methods of doing object-oriented programming. One is the class-based one, and the other is the function-based one. So we'll hop right in, and then we'll do both of them. We'll do both the class-based object-oriented programming and then the function-based one. All right. We'll not be spending a lot of time in this part. I believe this is a little more advanced than what we are discussing here, but I just felt like you should at least know that there's something like this, the object-oriented programming construct. All right, so the first one we want to do would be the function-based one, function-based OOP. All right, so the way this works is, in regular functions, when you want to declare regular functions, you start with a lowercase letter. So for example, if we want to say create let's say a class of animal, we want to create a function of animal, usually we will just do animal like that, and create whatever function we want to create like this. But in this case, this is totally different. The way this works is different from what you already know. So to convert this to an OOP, you need to change this from the lowercase a to uppercase A. Now this changes everything from the way it should work. You now know that this is supposed to be an object-oriented programming. So once you come into this place, you now have access to the this keyword. The this keyword shows that this particular parameters or arguments refer or belong to this particular function, which is also an object-oriented program. So once you come in here, the first thing you should have access to is this dot name, telling you that it's equivalent to this name, and this dot type equivalent to this type. You could change a bunch of other things. You could, for example, you could add, say, color here, and then once you come down here, you have access to this dot color. So how does object-oriented programming works? You could just, it helps you to have a clean code, and it's easy to reuse code. So for example, if so let's first of all do an instance. So say a dog, good, and let's pass in all the details we need, and then let's log this to the console so that you understand what we are saying here. So console.log dog, and let's open this inside of the terminal. Clear the terminal, sorry, not terminal, the console, and let's save this and see what happens. We have animal, dog, the color is brown, the name is dog, and the type is mama. If we need access to anything, we just do dot color and save it, and it gives us access to what we want. Now, but how about we want to not just do the dog, but we also want to maybe update something about the dog? So for us to do that now, what we can do is dog dot prototype. So it could be adding a function or adding any other property. So this time around, we could just say we want to add the what property about dog, speed. So we could just say speed and say this is equal to, maybe we could just say fast. Now when we decide to have access to this dog again and say console.log dog and save it, now this time around it's saying speed, So dog.prototype. Oh, so I messed up a little bit. You are not supposed to use prototype except you're extending the class. So it's supposed to be dog.speed, and then we put fast there, all right, so that we don't mix it up. So now when you open dog, you not only have the color, the type, and the name, we also have the speed, which is fast, you know, something like this. And you could do this for multiple animals. So say for example, you want to do for say cats. We could add something different for cats. So we could say cats dot let's say speed and say slow, and see how it works differently for cats here. So just copy and paste this and add for cats down here, save it and see how it works differently. So for the animal, a dog, the speed is fast, and for the animal, cat, the speed is slow. So this makes it really interesting. Now, but how about if you want to create a different class from this particular class? Now that's where prototype comes into play. All right, so we could come down here and say we want to create a different class. All right, so we could now do say animal dot prototype dot maybe we say speed. All right, so let's say speed like that, and then add normal. All right, and save it. Now we're extending this particular animal beyond what it's used or it is at this time. All right. But also notice that even though we've extended this animal, we are able to change it using what's below. Now at this point we put in the speed to be normal, right? But when we declare dog here and the cat here and set their different speed, it still overwrites it. So this is the power of object-oriented programming. All right, and so that's the basics I think you should know about function-based object-oriented programming. Something else we do here, or which is a bit more new, would be the class. So if you want to declare a class, it is also object-oriented programming. You do a class, and then let's say we still want to do the Pokemon one. Now it doesn't take in parameters like function would do. So let's use this one for example. What it takes in is a constructor. So this is where you pass in whatever I want to pass in, and here is like the function you can choose to add to that object-oriented program that you are creating. So for example, this one takes in the name and the type, and so this dot name is equal to name. So when we decide to create a new Pokemon, so Pokemon 1, I'll pass in the name and the type here. We could decide to say, let's see what this Pokemon is all about. So let's log it to the console. So console.log. Okay, we could just do the Pokemon 1.show since we're already console.logging it here, and we save it. So once we save it, it gives us the name. If we change this name to something else and save, you see it's also changed it. So you see you can easily reuse this, and if you choose to extend this, maybe if you want to create a new class, add new properties, you could extend. You are now open to what we know as inheritance, polymorphism, and many other things. This is the basics of object-oriented programming. I think this is what you really need to know as a beginner. If you would like to check more on this, I think you should check out the official documentation. Let me get that for you. Let's check MDN documentation here, JavaScript MDN documentation, and you could check out the object-oriented programming when it's open. So so here is classes. So inside of here you have constructor, we have extend. I was telling you about the extend now, whereby you're able to extend a particular class. So for example, this class date formatter extends date. So which means it takes everything that date has and adds its own functionality. So the constructor is basically where you declare variables like that to be reused and used by every other place. We have the private properties, the public, and all that. So this is where we draw the curtain for this. And so